Okay, chevra, good morning, everybody. Shkoyach for coming. Let's sing a good niggin. Bam 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 bam. Da 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 da. Ay da 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 da. Ma 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 ma. Bam 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 bam. Bam 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 bam. Ay da da da. La 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 bam bam bam. Da da bam 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 bam. Ay ay la 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 bam 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 bam. Da da bam 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 bam. Ay ay da 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 bam 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 bam. La 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 bam 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 bam. Hey hey bam 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 bam. Ay ay la 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 la. Bam 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 bam. Boker Tov. We're learning Leilui Nishmas Bas Yefiga Bas Yisrael Levi Ben Yosef, and for the refuah shlema of Eliza Chana Bas Naomi and Shoshana Yona Bas Elo. Everyone has a sefer? I don't read minds. Remember, chevra? Does everyone have a sefer? No. Ah, Givat. Baruch Hashem. I brought them down. There's also extra copies here for whoever needs. I'm so excited. My heilige dear cousin surprised me this morning from Chicago, Rabbi Mordechai Reisman and his son-in-law. This is the tzad, this is like the Ger Rebbe side, chevra, don't mess. This is like that line. It's that line, so you gotta really, but also Rav Mordechai has been a friend of mine in the schus of Jerry. Even though we're mishpacha, we connected really through Jerry, what we said about 15 years ago, Mashu Kazeh. And Naftali Kravitz is the same, yeah. He went to school with Avrami, yeah. He's from Toronto. So it's a big schus. It's a big schus to have Rabbi Reisman here with us and visiting from Bentime. He's from Lakewood. Bentime. For now, he's from Lakewood. That'll change soon, Be'ezer Hashem. And from Maryland, also from Baltimore, we have. Remind me your name in Hebrew. Moshe. Reb Moshe is with us, also visiting from Baltimore, which is always a big schus. And Reb David's visiting from Ir Atika of Efrat of the Rimon. So, chevra, we have a lot going on. We have a very short words of chizuk today from the tzaddik Reb Usher Freund. This is the same shmef, the same smell of everything we've been learning until now from the tzaddik. We're on Michtav Vav. I think it's is it Yud Beis? Yes. Yud Beis. Open up very short. There's a letter that Reb Usher wrote in April of 1973. Do you need pages? Yeah, chevra, the shy business doesn't work here. You have to speak, you have to ask, you have to... Yossi, do you need a page? Yeah, see? It's working. Thank you, Rabbi. Here, take. I'm so happy you're here. I'll preface by saying the following. With I'm trying to be not politically correct within being politically correct. This is like very interesting. Within the world that stands up today for, today is, Aliyah also, Sheni. You see, like Avram Avinu's whole thing is what? La'asot mishpat v'tzedek. Like that becomes the platforms for all these different organizations and movements to take civil rights stuff and put it up to the top, and all those Ben Adam Lamakom stuff is like, whatever, it's not as important. and it's such an ivut. Ivut means
Perversion?
yeah, perversion. It's so you could learn this letter in the eyes of I hate to say it, like a shtickle contaminated eyes of 2025, and miss the whole point of what this letter is all about. Miss the whole point. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to see it inside. But I want you to keep that in mind. So again, we could assume, based on the response, what Reb Usher received.
More sheets?
זה מתוק אתה, זה מתוק. That's it's a Yossi move, it's not? Yeah, I love it. Lichvod, you can assume what he received. The tzaddik receives like this. קיבלתי את מכתובו והמילים הכאיבו לי ביוסר, your words that you sent me truly hurt me. They caused me a lot of pain in my heart. בצער גדול. קראתי את השורות מלאי הכאב מביתו היקרה. I read with such great pain the lines filled with pain from your daughter, from your precious daughter. שבעלה לא רוצה לתת לה גט והוא מאגנה. So what's the metzius that he has over here? A mesureves get. Now, that's why I said to you what I said to you in the beginning of Shir. So now you'll see where we're going with this. She must have been rightfully so correct in crying, because the matzav was that she was an agunah. She was stuck in this situation, in a very difficult situation of being an agunah. And you know, when you're in that place, shelo aleinu, we should never know of such things. But just like when a person is stuck in a tzara that he can't snap himself out of, the reason you can't snap yourself out of it is because you can't imagine that anything's going to ever be different. Real severe depression, not the clinical kind, although there are ties there, but real severe depression can quite often be born out of a state of a reality of not being able to imagine and believing in this, that what you're experiencing right now will ever end, or can ever end, that there's a possibility of this pain to ever go away. Ever. This is the matzav, this is the state that the tzaddik is finding this young woman in, and her father, who they must have written a letter together. Aval. I love Reb Usher's aval is demanding, but it's a good aval. But כבר אמר דוד המלך עליו השלום לכל תכלה לא יוסי קץ. David HaMelech already said, I saw an end. There is an end. There is an end game to the pain and the confusion and the tzaras. David HaMelech says this, I saw, for any type, like we have by the Chashmonaim and by Yosef HaTzadik, Ketz sam lachoshech, right? Ketz sam lachoshech. There is an end. These things don't last forever. אבל כבר אמר דוד המלך עליו השלום לכל תכלה לא יוסי קץ, כמו שרוחצים שמלה, ומוציאים ממנה כל כתם. And I understand why he's giving an example of a blouse, of a dress, because he's trying to relate to her, right? He says, you take a dress and you wash it, ומוציאים ממנה כל כתם, and every stain gets removed. אבל עצם הרחיצה מכאיבה. But the actual act of washing hurts. So, Eli, you want to give context here of how they used to wash clothes? No, I'm kidding. Like back in the day, they used to wash clothes. I'm just saying, the act.
On a rock.
What? Doesn't everybody do that? Right. The action of how you get the ketem off is not, ooh, come, you know. Today you have all these.
Gentle cycle.
Yeah, today you have a gentle cycle, all these spritzes, the magic spritz, the shetel spritz. You have all these different things that magic touches, and even that, that's a, by the way, the magic sponge, it's amazing, or it can ruin walls and stuff like that. Whatever, I had a whole thing in my, I'm not getting into it. But the action, what he's pointing is that the action of the rechitza semla, the action of it, ze koev. You go, like we love going into that, we spoke about it in shul, going into a car wash and sitting in the car when they're doing a chitzoni, right? It's gewalt. It's all happening outside of us, right? But you know that when we do that, and it's us, and it's not the car, and we go through such a thing, that cleansing, it's very, very painful. As an example, because many of us in the room can relate to this.
It was Yom Kippur, Josh.
Sorry?
Yom Kippur.
What was Yom Kippur?
Car
You said
But the car wash. So as an example, is many of us have experienced extreme pain when we've gone to Uman. Dafka there. There's something like when there's avodas hanefesh going on and Tzvi is always there to tell us, listen, this is open heart surgery. It's not supposed to feel. All the other places, it's like, oh, it's nice and kumbaya vibes, but then you go there and something changes. And I don't know what it is. It becomes geschmack, but that's because the etzem harechitza is something that's very painful. And that's what he's saying to her. You're in the process of etzem harechitza. You can't see it right now because to you, all it looks like is that you're being tortured by someone that's not willing to give you a get. But the actual process you're really going through, that's actually happening, is etzem harechitza. I would love to say that Am Yisrael, kichlal, in Eretz Yisrael, has come to that same chap regarding the rechitza that we've been going through for the last few years. And I think, and I'm feeling very optimistic. Huh?
Baderech.
Yeah, I'm feeling very optimistic. It's a rechitza. It's a rechitza, but what's coming off of us is ksamim of galus, is the stains of 2,000 years of exile, which don't come off too easily. Those stains, they're stained strong in the etzem of who we are.
Gotta really put your back into it.
Huh?
Gotta put your back into it.
And your front. Yeah. כמו שרוחצים שמלה ומוציאים ממנה כל כתם, אבל עצם הרחיצה מכאיבה. אבל, now this is classic Reb Usher, אבל אם אותו דבר מקבלים את הכאבים באהבה, but if you receive the same exact thing you're going through right now, the pain, with love, מוחקים הכאבים את כל החטאים שהם הגורמים לעינויים האלה. ואם עומד בסוקף ומקבל יסורף באהבה, Hashem berachma v'gdolim merachem v'kasher hakevim misporer. There is a way for the natural result of cleansing to stop hurting. What's that?
Accept it with love.
Accept it with love. He says, accepting with love, it doesn't end the process, but what he does say is that the process stops being torturous. The process you have to go through. It's just the teva. The shaila is it going to sting? Or is it just going to be is it going to be a process that you have to go through and it stops killing so much, it stops hurting so much? It doesn't change yet the outcome. He's not saying over here, you mekava ba'ahava, and then you'll be megureshes and it'll be fine. He's just saying whatever process you have to go through, you think it's this your future ex-husband of yours who's running this whole show and it's because of him and that's why it's happening. That's what it looks like. Me'al pnei hashetach, above the surface. In the emes la'amita, what's happening over here? It's a mashu acher legamre that was nikba for your tikkun nefesh that we can't understand. And it's a process and it hurts. But like Reb Usher told us about kimat every process that a person goes through that you want to scream ayah, the moment there's a Kabbalah be'ahava, now that's a whole nother, what does that mean exactly? What does that look like? It means different things for different people. There's not one way of saying of what a receiving with love, the pain, looks like. For different people, it means different things. Just like globalize the intifada means, no, I'm kidding about that one. That means one thing, but Hashem Yerachem on New York City. He's the Nefesh B'Nefesh Man of the Year. You saw that? For us,
Not official yet.
The Rabbanim endorsed him, no?
for us, chevra, tangent aside, it's my fault. I fed it to you, but I'm taking it back right now. So our inyan is each person in their own way to start to lefatech sicha, to develop a conversation with Hashem that basically goes like this: Ribono Shel Olam, I want to mekabel be'ahava the pain that I have to go through right now. I don't really know what that means, or I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that looks like exactly. I know the tzaddikim speak about this, and apparently it's very high levels, and it's moyil, it's good stuff. But lemaisa, I don't know exactly what that means to mekabel something be'ahava, But I want to start that conversation together with you because I trust the words of the tzaddikim, and I trust that the moment that I receive upon myself באהבה, a very difficult kufa in life, it's not that things get better. It's that my experience of going through this world becomes so much more meaningful.
It says the pains crumble.
And my experience of going through this world, now through the crumbling of all that ayah, now it's not like, oh, I'm free. It's like, oh, now I want to get to know you more, Ribbon Shleilam. Now I want to see you more. I want to see so much more. I want to experience so much more. Yeah, Eli.
And it's very important to do this process, because through that process, the pains serve what they're there to do.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Can you say it again, what you said?
It's very important to go through this process, because through that process, the pains serve the purpose that they're meant to serve. Otherwise, they're just pain. Otherwise, it's just an agony, and it's such a chaval. And you can turn it into something that it's meant to be, right? Basically a spiritual gym, as opposed to just pain.
Mm.
Right? And so that's what he says here. Right? That mochkim hakayvim es kol hachatayim. Otherwise, they just distance you. They don't bring you close.
Right. Which isn't their purpose.
Exactly right. You could the way that you view it, it can be the opposite of what they're meant to do, or it can be what they're meant to do, and that's on us.
Yeah.
There's some expression to the fact that pain is involuntary, but like suffering is a choice. Meaning
Pain is involuntary.
Pain is a mitzvah,
Right, but suffering is a choice. Very good. And that's exactly what he's saying here. Yeah. וכמו שחבלי לידה של אישה, כאשר היא יולדת, נגמרים כבר כאביה. Eventually, not right away. There's still aftershocks after the birth. But he's saying that immense pain that comes on in labor, especially during Braxton Hicks. That's like the getting close to the climax of pain, immeasurable pain. We could do all these nisyonos in our life. We will never understand. We'll never feel. But those pains that while it's happening, you can't imagine. Like a woman's nevuah is that not nevuah, but emunah is she knows it will end. But when we're in that kind of pain, we think it's never going to end. The woman's able to somehow connect herself to a world of, this is not going to last forever. Not always. Sometimes she makes a curse or she makes a shvuah, as we know, that she'll never do this again, and therefore she has to bring the korban. But inside her neshama, she knows this is going to end, and it does end eventually. So he says, "Kach ani mekaveh sheyavo ketz lakeivim shel bito yekara." You know what I found so fascinating about this line over here? Reb Usher is giving her complete recognition. He's fully just seeing her. He's just seeing her. The tzaddik is seeing her. He's not trying to say to her, no, listen, it's an illusion, it's not really hurtful. No. He's equating what she's going through with the most immense physical pain that a woman has to go through in this world, with the pain of labor. He's seeing her, and it touched me very much to see this line. So he says, "Kach ani mekaveh sheyavo ketz lakevim shel bito yekara ve'Hashem yatir ota mikavlei agunah." Hashem will untie her from the shackles of being agunah. V'tizke leorot tachat atzar shayu la bekefel kiflaim, and the light that will come in and show up at her doorstep will come back to her kefel kiflaim, more than the pain was, double the amount. Im Hashem meshalem tova lesonav, al achas kama v'chama leohavei shmoi, right? And that's whatever, this the meshalem tachas. He's saying if the son of reap anything in this world, right, a tova from Hashem, then how much more so those that love His name. So he's saying over here, without saying it, loving Hashem's name is the decision to mekabel something with love. Ohavei shmo. Ohavei shmo. I love what you represent. I love you, Ribbono Shel Olam, despite the fact that I can't understand you. I'll never understand you. Many of us have seen very, very almost biblical moments of parents standing over the graves of their children the last 2 years and doing Kabbalah Sol Malchus Shemaim. and professing their love for Hashem despite the fact that they're in agony and pain, immeasurable pain. First time I ever saw this was Hoshana Rabbah, 2011, I think. I think 2011. I think just Yossi was around back then. But do you remember? It was Hoshana Rabbah. We're in Eli. We're in Beit Stone. Well, you were there, and you weren't here yet, were you? 2011. I think it was 11. And Menachem set up a whole drum set right behind me, right? And then he left.
Yeah, we was kids, and then I was Tom.
Tom jumped on the set.
Tom,
I haven't played 40 years. He said, I didn't play drums in 40. That, right? That Hoshana Rabbah. He left because of, I think, of security. Things were starting to get riled up because the night before, Rav Eitan Henkin and his wife were killed in the car in the Shomron, I think it was, right? Or in Binyamin. Does anyone remember this, Bichlal?
I remember where it happened.
Yeah, it was, I think their kids were in the back, something, Shem Yirachem. So I went to the Levaya the next day, and I saw his father, Rav Henkin. He's passed since. His mother, Rebbetzin Henkin from Nishmat. So the father got up at the Levaya, and he was saying, we all believe in you, Hashem, but sometimes we really just don't understand why like this. And that's okay to have that question. It's a father at his son's funeral and his daughter-in-law's funeral. Like, we have to realize, Mekabel Be'ahava doesn't mean I'm going to start dancing. Like, I remember I once was at someone's house and they haven't paid their bill for chashmal in forever, and then they learned about Kabbalas Yisurim Be'ahava. Meanwhile, there's tons of kids that need to have a warm bath or, and food in the fridge, and they start dancing. No, Mekabel Be'ahava Yisurim. Or you could get a job and pay the bill, and you know what I mean? There's no inyan lechatchila to set up the stage to mekabel yisurim be'ahava. You know why? Because unfortunately, going through this, because the Gemara says noyach lo adam shelo nivra, and that therefore, it's going to be a journey in this world that you're going to go through things that are going to be. You're going to be the most responsible person, and you're going to be so fit, and you're going to try so hard to do everything right, and be makpid on meiser and all the tzedakahs, and everything's going to be. But there's still going to be, because that's the mitzvah of going through this world, there's going to be things that are going to be grabbing at you, and it's going to force you at a certain point in life to say, I'm mekabel be'ahava, what's going on right now. That doesn't mean you start dancing, necessarily. Or at least I can't relate to chevra like that. I personally, it's harder for me to relate because I'm obviously not nowhere close to that kind of a mila, but I can't relate to it so much. So I'm taking his chizuk here for my personal life and for all of our personal lives, although I don't, even though this exact example is not in the room, it doesn't matter. We're in our own personal life, there are moments we have to mekabel be'ahava, what we're going through. Ani mevakesh shuv la'amod chazak bizman she'achoshech kayam. I'm asking you to stand strong at a moment that the choshech exists. I love it. This is validation. Again, this is so important. For the chevra from the machon, you'll see, we're going to talk about this validation. Hearing someone, being able to listen to someone, even if you think they're totally nuts, and even if you think they misread the room completely, validating someone when they're in a state of pain is the Pesach Hashar, is the opening to have any type of hashpah, any type of influence. So again, אני מבקש שוב לעמוד חזק בזמן שהחושך קיים והשם אשר שם קץ לחושך. Just like the Rebbeinu Shalom put an end to the darkness. That phraseology is taken from this man of Yosef HaTzadik being in jail, that a certain time came, and also by the Yevonim, by the story of the Maccabim. Kach yasim ketz lekevim, so too an end to the pain will come. V'tisku la'or shivat HaYamim bereshis l'harbe nachas. V'nizke lishmoa tamid besoros tovos, na la'anot ech mitkadem hadavar. And I'm not just saying this as lip service, I want to know, keep me updated how things are going. ובעיקר יש לדעת לחכות בסבלנות ולא להיות נשבר. And you have to know, these things right now, that these kind of metziases need patience. Obviously what we want more than anything is, it should change, it should be fixed. Like with most things that hurt us so much in life, savlanut. And not to be broken about it, to realize you're in a process and there's a bechira that's in front of your plate right now. The bechira is Kabbalah searing באהבה. And then everything starts crumbling down. בתקווה לשמוע בשורות טובות, amen. Yeah, Andrew.
So you just brought up bechira, but where's the bechira for the guy in this situation? And where's the bechira?
Which guy?
The guy that's not giving the get. And just like...
He didn't write a letter to Reb Usher. No, he's not asking for any.
No,
Like
I understand, but like he's telling her, look, it's in Hashem's hand. You just got to do it with Ava, and that's, I believe that 100%. Like, where is the bechira for the guy to give the get? Like, is he just going to be? Is he like the Ishmaelim, the Chas, like they're like just puppets, and he's just a puppet, and just waiting for something to shift in their mind to then give the get, and that's predicated on her actions? Like, how does that work? Where does the bechira come into play here? You understand the question I'm asking?
No, but I'm going to ask you a question. Tell me if I'm like smelling it, if I'm getting closer to it, right? You'd expect that there should also be a hora from this Rav as to what that guy should do.
Right. Is he?
Right.
So if it's just on her.
So let's. This is why I said in the beginning of Shir that we're programmed already. Not you.
Right.
All of us are in a door in 2025. That emunas tzaddikim is something that we all speculate. We're not really sure about it, right? Because I expect the tzaddik to speak about, and he should do so and so. We have no idea what tzaddik like Reb Usher was doing behind the scenes. If he had any shaykhs to this story. I'm sure he did, but the more you speak about things that need to be dealt with still or hate, meaning quietly, the less of a possibility that usually these things have to come out. But the Welt wants to hear proclamations all the time to sound politically correct. That, and he's also, at the same time, he's also taking, we don't know. We don't know, that's Aleph. Bez is, he's dealing with her nefesh right now. And honestly, whatever he'd say to her regarding what he thinks should be done with him would not satiate, it would not address the pain in her neshama. It wouldn't, even if it's the right words. What the tzaddik is doing here is he's seeing her in a way that she doesn't even see herself. That's what's going on over here. Is that k'tzat mechaven to what you're asking?
Yeah, because it's not going to help her, essentially. Like, and now all that other stuff doesn't need to be spoken about.
That's what it seems like to me. Ellie, your hand was up?
Yeah, that's exactly it. He's dealing with the person who's writing the letter.
Right.
And the other stuff has a place, but not here.
Nachon. Wait, there was one more hand. Did anyone else have a hand? Ellie, yeah?
I want to mention one other thing.
Yeah, please do.
He has this line in here, "V'tizku la'or shivri yemei gracious." It's not a throwaway line. He talks about this a lot. Right? It's through this derech, there's geula here.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the last thing you think to find in this dafka in this situation.
Yeah.
But buried in the pain of this and going through the weeds is geula. And you find this time and time again in the letters, as well as the idea, which you didn't brace here so much, but agunah klalis is predicated on our individual going through all of this.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see that also time and time again. It's like every word in these letters.
That I've seen word for word by the Chidush Yarim by Zaidi. I've seen it many times that he's saying that the Geulas Klal is in Geulas Prat or Haba Hatalia. In different variations, Eli, you learn Chidush Yarim all the time also. You've seen it in his
The first book Reb Usher told me to learn was Chidush Yarim.
Yeah. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Shekivanu. It should be a Geula Dika day with Geula Dika eyes and a lot of love.